Hello my cabbages, and welcome back to another mapping video. This time I'm doing Wicso multiplayer, where basically I'm starting this series. I'm gonna hang off to Ender or someone else. And it's basically, I actually have 9 people signed up, including me, so this is at least gonna go 9 episodes until it turns around back to me. But yeah, that's basically the gist. It's just different mapper every time and goes around, and mostly people are probably coming from like Ender or something because, you know, bigger channel than me. But yeah, hope you like me. A lot more raw editing style, but you'll see what I'm like, and I hope you enjoy. So we start with a red country, because the first country is almost always red, and they expand pretty large here up the river and through you know, this whole area. And I picked this area because that's where, you know, her civilization absolutely started. We got the Tigris and Euphrates River. Wait, no, this is the Euphrates, this is the Tigris. I know my rivers, maybe. Like, I know my rivers, maybe. So, we start here, and let's fill them in, because, you know, boom, boom, boom. So we have the red country. And there's a bunch of people up here near the intersection of Tigris, Euphrates River, and this other river that I do not know the name of. And they see, like, oh, the red team is making civilization. We should try that. So they create civilization, mostly centered around this peninsula. Which, speaking of centered, they're not just thieves. They give me a sec. They invent the idea of capital cities. So they put their capital right here on this peninsula. Boom. And then the red team expands more, because it does. And it meets the blue team. It's like, you stole our idea of civilization. Oh no, you are a bad guy. So we attack you. You stole our idea of civilization. And you know, you don't know me. I always make super weird ways of fighting. But trust me, I can be entertaining. And just entertaining in a weird way. So then they take, you know, this area. Then the blue team is like, hey, we created capitals, so we are superior. I don't know what that noise was, but who knows? And then the red team kind of goes like this, a lot Asian. I don't know why I'm putting on this accent. Then the blue team kind of expands, but slowly the red team starts winning till it eventually gets to a stalemate. I don't know what the thing was. Like, I feel like all the YouTubers just have it so one team takes over another country and then they have a peace deal. Like, realistically, they would just take over the country. Like, I think it's just best to end in a stalemate. And then a peace treaty, something like this. Not much border change, but even though Red was, like, trying to be original, they're like, maybe this capital idea was a good idea. So, they do that. And then the blue team decides to expand because, you know, they are a good team, and, you know, and they're very full of themselves or something. I don't know. Actually, the red team probably sounds more full of themselves. Who knows? But, yeah, in case you don't notice, I'm using MS Paint. Yes, I'm using MS Paint. And this map has a bunch of weird dots in the rivers and lakes, so I'm not going to have to deal with this for too long eventually. Others people will have to deal with this, so. But then the blue team expands so large that they fracture. They fracture into, ooh, that color is very close to the river color. Oops. They fracture into a light baby blue team, grayish blue team, and a light purple team, because why not have a big fracture already? And then, yeah, I'm gonna like see what other people do with it, if they're gonna add a religion map, if they're gonna add like smaller cities map, or like what type of maps we're gonna have. All the capitals are pretty close to each other because they all are around the river, because the rivers are lifeblood, because if you don't know, earlier civilizations love rivers. So all these new countries decide to expand because they want to, and it's best for the blue team areas because now they have like now they're kind of split up, and they're gonna have a thing where each kind of branch kind of gets their own river, except the poor blue team, because they kind of get sandwiched, so they kind of have this very skinny peninsula. So it's just like, yeah, the whole, and they're expanding quite a bit. This would realistically be slower, but this very weird borders. It's just so skinny. And even the light blue team eventually takes over this side of the river, and going like, boom, boom, and boom. So they take over this whole river area, and while that was happening, probably would have happened slower, but the red team decides to expand quite a bit along this river. You would say like, oh, the red team's obviously winning because how big they are, but like because they have access over ports, but they're not really shipping to anyone else because nobody else actually exists right now, at least not that they know of. I would say that's like foreshadowing, but it depends if the other YouTubers are going to continue the plot. So there's an attempt to be foreshadowing because I'm making them watch my video before they make their video, so they at least know what's happening. But foreshadowing, there's other civilizations that don't just start in this area. I mean, Branch is pretty good at that, so maybe Branch can do that, but I don't know, because he has like 5 civilizations and Bisco things on episode 5, but like in a good, I don't know why I'm sounding condescending. What? Am I sounding condescending? Okay, I'm getting off track. But basically, the red team's spending too long, so they have a split off over here on this river. So I realized I'm basically just making each river independent, so yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, you know, cities were really built around rivers back in the day because, you know, they can, a lot of these are really small because back in the day, if you look at ancient, like, Fertile Crescent, like, everything was so small, like, but eventually, there's probably going to be some sort of empire. That's semi-foreshadowing. Like, I don't know if that, yeah, no, probably some, like, empire. Honestly, right now, I'm loosely following realistic history. I wanted to find a better place to start this off, because, like, I feel like everyone starts in, like, this Arabia area, because, like, Ada's Pro popularized it. But, honestly, I really like it, because that's just kind of where life started out. But, as I'm blabbering on about all this, all the countries slowly expand, because they don't have much else to do. And even with the first episode, I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries, so a lot of expanding to do. Trying to make this interesting. Because I don't know, I don't like YouTubers that cut super often. It just feels more authentic when you just talk to people. And like, if you really can't find anything to talk to, like, it's not that hard to find something to talk about. Like, I'm talking about stuff right now. Which is not the most entertaining use of content, but why not? Let's just say, because I like borders and enclaves and exclaves and all that, the blue team gets a little foothold here, and the blue team also gets a little bit of a foothold here, and they also kind of go like this, but they aren't able to connect up their territory, because I said so, and I like making interesting borders. Because I always like having just, you know, this exclaves and enclaves, and nobody else likes it, but I do. So, deal with it. Like, future YouTubers, deal with it. I mean, they will have to, technically. Because, you know, they're going to have to use this map, and unless they change it up. You better not change it up just because. I mean, that one I don't think I can actually order because I feel like they are going to change it up. Because this is not plot relied on, but yeah, so they basically all expand down their rivers because, you know, they want to expand. They want to expand. But, yeah, no. It's, you know, very slow episode because it's the first episode. Probably won't get much until, you know, 10th episode because that's when you're going to see me again, so if this all goes well and nobody else is that. Because honestly, this is like really open-ended. If you want to join, just ask. Like, you could just, like, ask in the comments. Like, the only real requirement is you have to have a semi-decent presence on YouTube. Like, sorry, you can't just be like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and start with this. I say you need lead. You at least lead like 5 different videos that are related to mapping. So and I can see your style, because I don't want to like it. I'm friendly. I'm a friendly guy, but like I don't want random people being on here. I want this to be a successful series with like decently established people. But like, don't think subscribers matters. Like one of the people on here, Branch 4, full channel name, has 14 subscribers, but they're on here because they make fun content. So it's just, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. I only have 45, but just, I don't know. The worst thing that could happen is you get rejected, and you know, at least you tried. I don't know. I'm probably not expecting that much, especially for my video. Maybe when Ender posts a video, we'll get a lot of suggestions and like, pick me. But I'm the small guy. Part of the reason why I wanted to go first is because I was one of the small ones, and I also created the idea. So, you know, I'm good with ideas. So maybe if you want to watch my channel and subscribe, yeah, no, not yet. I shouldn't be putting the plug in right now. Wait till later, till the end of the video. I hate people that just start the video like and subscribe. I'm like, I haven't watched any part of your video yet. How would I know if I want to like and subscribe? Like, seriously. I'm just getting on a rant about YouTube, because honestly there's not much else to do, because, you know, this is still early. There's still just, you know, minor border. And let's just say the blue team wants to connect with the colonies, so they start a 2-way war. Not a good idea. First they get it because you're kind of caught off guard, but then they're quickly severed because it's not a good idea to start a 2-way war unless you're like significantly stronger than like both the countries. So they kind of get denied, and it's kind of hard to get their capital other than like naval invasions, which I guess they're pretty good at because they have trained. But basically, both of these countries try to get through onto the peninsula, like, but it's like super skinny, and it's kind of like very small, very small. But yeah, so they try and like get towards their capital the long way, because I don't know, realistically they should have a better navy than army, but whole rivers are not that color. But yeah, they kind of make a spearhead. But then the blue team, let me just way faster, kind of pushes back by taking over this. Because, you know, that's what they do, push back. Nope. You've been doing that. And then it's kind of like a weird thing where they're kind of split like that. And they have weird long dangly limbs, basically. And they kind of try pushing forward, and eventually it reaches a stalemate, because I do a lot of stalemates because I feel like they're more realistic. I go for realism a lot. If you've seen episode 2 of my different series, sometimes too much realism, and it's, yeah, I would love to add a cultural map, but I'm still only the first person, so whoever comes eventually, like within the first 5 episodes, being the culture map, I feel like it always makes things interesting to have a culture, and different maps just expand things, because, like, you know, this is really simple. This is just capitals and you know, the world, because that's only what the 2 layers I have right now. I'm on MS Paint, you know. So now we have even more border gore for the border war. So blue kind of screwed themselves over. And they have like a semi-easement that allows them to go through their territory to reach their other territory, which probably would have been a better idea in the first place. You would have thought. No, what? Yeah, it might be hard to keep the lore going, especially with like different YouTubers, especially with, you know, master plans and all that. But I don't know. I don't know if Ender's gonna be like second, or he's gonna come pretty early on. I know he could probably pick up some good lore in there, because, you know, if you've seen Ender's videos, they're good at lore, which most of you probably have, because most of you probably coming from Ender, because he's, like, the biggest channel in this one. I mean, and Golden's also pretty big. He has, like, 800 subscribers, but still. Yeah, so they kind of expand weirdly like that, because they have nothing else to do. And, honestly, I haven't been expanding the red team, though. They're very expansionist, because instead of expanding the red team in the normal area, the red team expands in the Red Sea. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, this is the Red Sea. Stupid. Well, the red team does not expand in the Red Sea, because that would mean they would be going really far, but... Red team, far from home, said the Spider-Man, far from home. That would be weird, but yeah, this is my third recording, because the first recording, I just goofed off and made the weirdest map known to man, and I showed it to the Sultan Empire, you know, when the friends of Ender, and they got like a stroke from looking at it. Not really a stroke. They got like, oh my god. I posted it in my channel. I'll probably link the post in the description. If I forget to, then tell me I forgot, or you could just look for it yourself in the comments, but only when this video is done, because you gotta watch the video and see to the end. I mean, I guess you don't, but no one's stopping you. But they expand around the ocean, even expand onto this island. But there's always like already people on this island, because although they weren't a country, they're kind of like people. They are tribal people, and they use them for labor, unpaid labor, also known as slavery. Yeah, no, I can say that on YouTube. I've been learning future censorship is not as bad as people think. But, you know, it's fortunately realistic. People there, not happy, but it boosts the power of the red team because, well, I mean, it was implemented for a reason because it helped people's countries, but not in a good way, at the harm of others. So, yeah, this is not an endorsement in any way. If you've seen my videos, you know I can get dark sometimes, but honestly, I feel like it leads for better plot lines, which sounds weird and dark very much, but eventually, happy ending, the people revolt, because they're like, yeah, this would be a great instance for a culture map, but they're like, stand up, because they don't want to, I just realized a little red dot there. We're gonna keep that. Stand up and rise, and they have like a inspiring musical speech or something. I don't know. But yeah, no. They eventually rebel from the red team, which is good because nobody really liked the red team. The pink team, hearing about this, they're very like anti-slavery. They're kind of like peace love. They rebelled from the red team. So the red team, or the pink team, hearing this is appalled, and even though they're like weaker, they stand up for their fellow brethren and take the capital in record time, honestly, especially for a small country as a pink team. So, instead of doing a whole, like, oh, they take over the land, and then it's like, oh, whole peace deal, I'm just having the peace deal right now, where the red team has to officially recognize the orange team as independent, and also give them some coastal land. Yes, they get more land. Partially because the red team, although they are pretty strong, they've been, without their, slaves, they've kind of been using too much military to expand, and they're been getting weaker, so they kind of get that. And of course the pink team themselves also wants some land expansions and around the capital, like this. Now the capital's technically surrounded, and fine, I'll fix it. But actually, instead of fixing it, I'm gonna make it so their ex-slaves moves farther into the pink team territory, because why not? I mean, the border war up here is already super bad, and honestly, sometimes I'll make just border war just to, especially for online, just for multiplayer like this, so other people will eventually have to deal with it, and I think it'll be funny. And different, YouTubers have different reactions. Like, Ender's fine with it, but, like, I know some people will be mildly to greatly offended. On a scale of mildly to greatly offended, how offended do you feel? Greatly offended! Like, I don't know. Border Gore, let's just say the blue team has a small enclave here, which actually splits the country technically in two. Yeah, the borders do not look good, but that's intentional. Nobody likes good borders, I mean, the only thing, Underm's biggest pet peeve I found is straight line borders. He absolutely hates straight line borders. Speaking of that, straight line, no, I'm not that mean. Straight line borders do look ugly, I agree. Like, I don't like straight line borders either. But honestly, I feel like it's been going pretty well. This whole area's been developing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 countries. So, I would count the countries if I can. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's going pretty well. I feel like I have a good storyline, especially for being the first episode. Rambling my thoughts out in my mind. So just like, have people know what's what happened and just. And then eventually, the red team keeps on expanding because no one will tell them, and honestly, they're decently strong enough. But they're basically going to become like the yellow team and Ada's Pro Series, if that character trait is kept. Which honestly, it's not the most. It's not the best character trait, to be honest. Like, the yellow team wasn't the most compelling team, so might not be kept. But these areas both rebel because they've been expanded too long and logistics are not working because they've been neglected. So they kind of form this. They both decide to rebel at the same time. So they kind of form this weird double claw grasping thing. But they eventually decide on the capital, which now we actually have 8 countries. Capital on the eastern side because it's bigger, and also on this peninsula. So, we got the Peninsula capital. Capital? I don't know. Capeninsula? Capeninsula. Yes, we have 1 Capeninsula, 2 Capeninsula, 3 Capeninsula. So, yeah. A lot of Capeninsulas. That's a new word, I guess. Use it as you will. Capeninsula. But, yeah, so basically that just happens. They rebelled. The red team does not like this. They try and fight back, but honestly, they're slowly losing power because without their slavery and with all of them rebelling, that does not go that well. And eventually, the dark red team pushes even farther back, and they're like, okay, we won't win this war either, but maybe we'll win the next war. So they call for peace. Yada yada yada. Always happens. Yeah, like, at first I thought the blue team had it bad, but blue team split into, 4. Now the red team's, the red team split into, 4 also. Also, I need to add a capital for them. Could just have them capitalist, but, capitalist. Money, like, no. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 countries. Pretty good. And there used to be 2 countries, and then each of the 2 countries split into 4, so a lot of civil war, which honestly always happens with this stuff. It always gets a civil war, which honestly I find the most compelling, so I agree. I like civil wars. Not in real life, though. None of this, don't take any of this out of context. I don't like any of this stuff in real life. I'm not a pro-war advocate or anything. I know I need to clarify that. I think most people would realize that, but you never know who's there. Don't want to get canceled. I mean, Ender's already got canceled by Benito multiple times. If you know, you know. But, yeah, so, Night Purple Team, Sussex Fan, PS1 not. Pink Team's a fan. Honestly, I'm just gonna make all these countries expand a bit, and then I'm probably gonna be done, because not much to do. It's still only the first episode, even though I feel like I already got some pretty nice plot points, if I would say so myself. And pretty good expansion of the Lantern. I always keep it, like, small scale. Like, a lot of people have it, like, really big scale. Thinking, like, country scale, honestly, these are pretty big countries for back in the day. Like, you know, back in my day. Like, you know, back in the day, like, you know, especially in ancient history, countries were usually really small because, you know, they couldn't expand that much. They're usually just city-states, so they're usually just, like, a single city. But, I don't know, I feel like they're pretty decent size right now and expanding slowly. And not in a way that would cause them to collapse like the red team, hopefully. Or what, you know, happened to the blue team. But that was a while ago, so nobody actually remembers that. Memory of a goldfish, yeah. But yeah, that will probably be all. Please like and subscribe, only if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's fine. And here's some videos that you might like if you watch this, because, you know, I have other videos like this, like other series, not just videos. One about Avatar, which is 18 episodes, but all that one discontinued because I lost the map files, and then I technically have another one that's only one video, but I also lost the map files for the first episode. I don't know how that happened, but I have another one that's ongoing right now, only 3 episodes. But honestly, I think it's my best one so far. So, I mean, it's also my newest. But yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye, my cabbages.